Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's project is we are going to try to get all this rust off, and this is heavy rust. I don't know if we can do it, but let's see what we can do. This is my 1974-75 CL360 Honda.
Before we get started, please consider subscribing, hit the bell icon, and give me a like. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. Thank you.
Now, what I'm going to start with, there's a lot of ways to do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get as much of this surface rust off to see what I'm working with. Now, I'm going to start with quadruple zero steel wool. Okay, I'm going to start dry, and if it looks like it's not really working, then I'm going to go to put a little water on it and see if that works. Now, we have several different ways we can do it. A lot of paste we can put on here after the fact if this doesn't work, but we're going to try this and see if we can restore some of the chrome back to, it's never going to be perfect, but just acceptable. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. Now, as you can see, right around here, I tried a little bit. It seemed to work, but let's start in this area right here. Okay, right about there, and see how this works. It's very heavily pitted too. I can see it's already shining up a little bit. I mean, it's never going to come back as what you would say right from the dealership. But I'm going to work on this section right here and see how this works. And you know what? I don't know if the camera shows it, but it is doing a little bit if you compare this to that. Now, you're going to have to work this in. I'm going to start with this little spot right here and see how good I can get it. It does look like I really feel this is probably beyond, as we could call it, repairable. This is very deeply pitted. But it has, cleaned it up a little bit. I'm going to use a little water. Let's see where we go with that one. It might, you never know. When you do a restoration, it really depends on how deep you want to go into it. And I don't want to, this bike was given to me by a friend for free. And I guess they're probably worth in the neighborhoods between $1,500 and $2,500, depend on the level and condition. But got to keep moving this around. You don't want to keep putting it back in. But as you can see, whereas it is taking a lot of the surface rust off, and it is making it shine more or less because of the water, but the chrome has really been damaged. This bike this is what happens. This bike was fine, but it's sat out for like 3 years up here in the north, and I'll be honest with you, there's not much chrome that's going to really be able to handle that. But it has taken some of it off. I would rather just concentrate on like one area, but what my intentions are on this bike is just to get it starts, but just to get it back to relatively, not perfect, definitely not. I don't want to put too much money in it, but I want it to look nice. I'll scavenge eBay for as much parts as I can get for it. I started that already. So, now we can come over with some conclusions on this. You got to keep this pad going. You don't want to keep putting the rust in the rust. I put a little more water. Now, would you want to, I have to see how, when I put Maguire's or Colonel Brassey or any of these industrial strength polishers, to see if it does it better. But as you can see, yes, it is water, there's no doubt about it, and it does make it shine a little bit, but there is definitely a difference between here and there. So I would say for an initial cleaning, the quadruple zero pad is where you should start first. And then we're going to start on a little section in here and see if we can basically, on the next video, get this section looking better. And I'm going to do a quick little clean up on this one. As you can see, this is very, very deeply pitted. Actually, there's no chrome under here. But you know what? Let's just see what we can do and see if it's acceptable. Okay? Wait for the next video. Now, this could be done, this way that I'm doing it here could be done for the pipes, for any kind of rusted chrome's surface. So let's just, I'll work on it, and I'll get back to you with my next video. Thanks very much. Please consider subscribing.